What's good, folks? It's your boy TriLLLG. Man, we are in some perilous times right now. Hip hop, hip hop's dead. Nas foretold it, and yes, it's alive in the North, but it's not alive for Black people in the North. It's alive for white people. So hip hop has become the new rock and roll, where the art form has been hijacked. Think about it. Think about it this way, and I'm gonna get into my topic, but think about it this way: we can no longer break into the industry as lyricists. We gotta use mumble rap to break into the industry. Understand that every single mumble artist that you make fun of can actually rap, but they know that they aren't there to spread information or to spread their life experience. They're there to entertain. And the white man don't want to hear you talk. You just want to see you jig and coon out. So hip hop's dead. You can't use hip hop to fight the power. We can only use hip hop to empower ourselves individually based on whoever gets that spot. And I have some little tads of pieces of hope that we can take it back, but nah. But let me get into what this video is about. Because I knew hip hop was dead, I was looking to the other sides of hip hop. I wasn't going to look to battle rap because I never saw battle rap as we already took over that, in terms of the white side again. And you have to think of Organic, the promoter who has the big battle rap battles here in Canada. Yeah, it's just been on enough. There's been already a lot of complaints about the battle rap scene, so I'm not even gonna get into that. But the conscious movement, the debates, the diatribes between ideologies, that was potentially the last essence of what hip hop gave to the people to grow their consciousness. If you guys remember back when the neo soul movement was growing, it was because of those kinds of conversations why neo soul existed, why it became a thing. But you realize how quick it died, because that's dangerous. So right now I feel there's a full-fledged attack on the conscious community. For instance, there's no such thing as a conscious community here in my country. There's people who claim to be a part of it, but they don't actually put any initiatives together, especially when we know we have the resources like that to create our own economy, or to at least put the infrastructure together for the American and the rest of the world to participate in an economy. So right now, that's kind of the stuff I'm doing on my own time, but it's like I'm doing it from scratch. I feel like I'm a caveman trying to build a matrix. So it's a whole thing that I'm going through right now. But whatever. This video is focused on, I'm not gonna call him an agent or anything, but this is focused on Mr. Pseudo. And I never called you Pseudo back in the day, you know what I mean? Pharaoh, I always looked at your information as, practical and applicable. But over the time, as I let it sit, and before you accept anything as a truth, you're supposed to let it sit with your spirit, with your mind, and just digest it slowly. And I was digesting your videos over the months or weeks or whatever. I don't even know how long it's been that I've been digesting your material. I really understood why the elders and why a lot of people were calling you pseudo. I'm gonna just speak on, let's see, on two major points that will destroy basically the entire platform that Pharaoh, young Pharaoh, stands on. And I didn't want to, like, I never thought it was necessary, because in the back of my head, I was like, yeah, we need to empower black women. But a lot of people who've been speaking to you have been trying to show you the error in your theology, and you just simply ignore them and try to grandstand on other points that have nothing to do with anything. And I could see your ignorance in just a lot of the things you're doing now. I could just I'm beginning to understand. Before I was just like, nah, yo, niggas can swear, so, but now I understand why you swear. You're using it as a means of attracting a certain kind of crowd that will never fact check you just because you're swearing. Like, nah, he's keeping it real. Now for instance, Sonetta swears. But if you notice, Sonnet is the type that when he's wrong, he will take the time and switch up the way he thinks and applies his methodology. Because the man used to be a part of the Nation of Islam, he used to be a part of like different movements, and as he upgraded his consciousness, he would retract and move forward in truth. You have not. You had the opportunity to sit with scholars and learn the meta nature. Wow, just for the sake of learning, even if you don't agree with it. Come on. Food to mouth? Damn. Amazing scholars who just like, yo, you would be way more powerful. You knew the truth. And you just refused to, because for you, it was just about, fighting the white man who put you in jail. But I feel you've been tainted. It's like that jail stint was supposed to raise your consciousness, but instead it tainted you, and it has you out in the streets causing a bunch of havoc right now. So for instance, you use the rhesus blood negative, positive as a major part of saying that, white people are monkeys and this and that. And I have no problem with black people in the United States cussing white people, because slavery still exists right now. And a large part of the white population is not fighting to remove it. So you can get angry at white people all you want. Like, you have every right. But if you're going to do it in the same way that the Darwinians did it, in terms of to subjugate the black race, then you're no better. So you have to look at the science, because the science says that a large population of white people do have rhesus blood, but an even larger population of the rest of the world has rhesus blood, meaning the African population. And at the end of the day, they only call it the rhesus blood, or the rhesus, I don't even remember the terminology right now, but the attribute of Rh positive, because they first noticed it in the monkey. They first saw it in the monkey. Not because we got it from the monkey. So if you were to ever say that to your own people, they'd be like, damn, okay, so that's not a real reason for us to attack white people no more. We just gotta look at things for what they are. We can't get all into the DNA about it and use that to... Here's another thing, actually. You say that white people have thicker skulls because they're part Neanderthal, when every piece of science shows us that actually us black people have denser bone structures. That's why we're stronger. That's why we've been slaves. That's why all of this stuff, because we can handle it physically. Damn, bro, that was just a straight up lie. You're saying, see, that's why white people, they don't hear you, and that's why you call them hard headed. What? So then what? Then I guess we're the hard-headed ones. Because our bone density is literally... It's literally denser. Like, we literally have more density in our bones. So, that... Anyways, okay, so here's the next point. Or here's the major point. The major point is the black woman is God. And, hey, maybe in Western society where government incentives and generations upon generations have put the black woman in a position of power where when she wants to act like a damn Satan, she can destroy her whole community. But when she want to act like a god and understand her role based on the position of power and privilege that she has, she can really empower her whole community. She is a god. But outside of that faux or that fiat system, the black man is really God. And you know this. You're the one literally saying it. It's coming from your mouth. You don't put your queen up there saying the black woman is God. You're the one saying it. You're the one literally saying it. So there's okay, let me not speak generally on that. Let me dig into that, because this is a major part of your platform. This is a major part. And maybe I should have read up on the knowledge fresh, so I'd have it fresh in my mind. It's been a while. It's just because of a lot of things that it's realistically the only reason I'm doing this video is because of the craziness with the debate. I was really looking forward to see this meta nature. This meta nature hasn't been deciphered, and I feel like y'all's crazy for. I ain't gonna swear at y'all, but y'all's crazy for the crazy business antics you guys pulled on Sonetter. Whether you agree or whatever with how Sonetter does his things, I feel as you guys being speakers that if you really wanted to give him a contract, y'all should have done that way before your pictures were flying up, way before you guys were posting it on your Instagram, all kinds of crazy things. So that is very sly. But the black woman can't be God if you're saying that she gave birth to herself, or she has the ability to clone herself. Basically saying that the ducts on the side of her vagina secretes fluid that just makes her wet and able for and prepared for the penis to penetrate. But now it has the ability to create semen back in the day, but for some reason it doesn't anymore. And the man and the woman comes from her womb, but we know that scientifically, when they did take bone marrow and skin cells or whatever it was from females to create sperm, they were only able to reproduce females. Those women were only able to reproduce females when they used the DNA from women to create sperm. So your theory is flawed even in its just modern day application. And that was just a science lab experiment. That wasn't women doing it naturally. So that's even further flawed. But let's go back to a real point, that you're saying women came on the scene first. Men weren't here. It was women who came and then men. So we know, like I just said, you need a man's sperm in order to get the process going. Women, fake sperm only creates women, but in order to actually create a civilization of men and women, you need that male sperm. But if the women were here first, and it's still needed for a man to come, wouldn't they just be twins? Like, for instance, if I get a girl pregnant and she's gonna have twins, one twin has to come out the womb first, unless we do a C-section and cut and just pull them out at the same time. But if they come through the vaginal walls or through her uterus, one at a time, yes, one is older technically than the other, but they were both conceived at the same time. Whether it is that the egg split, regardless of the terminology that we want to look at it, they were both conceived at the same time. So you're forgetting that when we say the word God, it encompasses the whole. And the reason why the black man is God, because he represents the whole. Think about what men do every day. We hustle, we fight, we war for our families. Even when we're single, we war to create a platform to then find a bride or wives or whatever our ideology in terms of building family. We bring a woman in, whether she has money or not. While we see consistently that with this black woman is God, or with this feminist movement, it is further and further destroying the black family. Why? Because it is emasculating the men, taking away their platforms to be who they are, and the fact that the black man still does not have rights. He is still a slave. He is still a slave. Your system, or our system, because I'm not gonna separate myself from the conversation and my country and my story from the conversation. But this system still has us oppressed. But the media, which is controlled by the Jews, continue to push that women are oppressed. When we know that anywhere that women are being killed or raped, men are being killed and raped even more. Those are facts. So I understand that we want to empower our women, but you're doing this from a very narrow perspective of knowing that the system doesn't really attack the women. So if we get the women to rise up and fight, that's actually not going to work. The women need to rise up and give the power back to the men, because it's the men's power in the first place. We are the gods. We are the seed, and they are the earth from which the plant grows. Leave a woman by herself all she wants. She ain't gonna have a kid. Yes, I ain't gonna have a kid by myself neither. But we understand it's the family together. And we understand historically that the ancestors, every single dogma that they put together, they understood that the man is going to be the face of that. He's the expendable one. So we're going to put him in front. He is God. I can be expendable. As long as I got her pregnant, I will continue. So there's no point in putting any kind of focus on the black woman like that. Especially when she's had the matriarchal control of her society with culture, fashion, every aspect for so long now, and she hasn't done anything great with it. Nothing against my black women. I love y'all. But y'all ain't God. At least without no man. That ain't misogyny. That's facts. So, to young Pharaoh, there's a reason why you've been getting a lot of attacks, because you are being pseudo and you know it. You gotta start looking at the arguments against you and take them on like you are trying to attack yourself. And be very true to yourself. And once you do that, and if you truly still believe that a black woman is God, okay, cool. But if you take that time and you go through your information unbiasedly, meaning that you're coming like someone else who don't know you, who's just looking at the information and wants to tear it down, and what would they use? How would they come at it? I think you will be very quick to jump back from that perspective and understand all you're doing is exciting the women in your community and getting them further off course from respecting the black men who are already in their communities to respect you, who's not even in their community. Nigga, you're closer to me. You're right at Buffalo. Right? So your experience is potentially quite different than people in the South. Yes, you went to jail. I'm not saying you ain't dealing with the black experience. I'm just saying you have to sometimes understand your privilege of being up north. And as you propagate from up north to the south and to the world, your perspective may be taken out the wrong way. A lot of people have said other things. I ain't going to say what they're going to say about homosexuality and all that. I ain't going to get into that. But just the very essence of how we know families are to be built and biology. And I could have gone very scientific today. I just wanted to speak generally so that hopefully if you see this video or anybody shows you this video, you personally can take the time and retract and rebuild a theology, an understanding based on truth. Anyways, folks, you done know it's your boy TriLLLG. Peace.